Hey everybody, it's Doug here, Doug Mystic on Board Game Geek, getting ready to bring you the next episode of our playthrough of Tales of the Arabian Nights, where we have our good guy Aladdin, Alibaba, and Sinbad trying to accumulate the best story and destiny of possible and win the game. Now, so far we have Sinbad has actually won the game at this point, but needs to get back to Baghdad to claim it. He's the furthest one away from Baghdad. The other two are not that far behind him, especially, well, the closest one would be Alibaba. He's pretty close, but he's got at least 2 points to get of destiny and one more point in, well, actually just 2 points of destiny. However, he's probably going to have to give up a turn to get rid of his wounded status, or maybe he doesn't. I don't know. I mean, he's not going to be able to complete his quest, that is for sure. He has not succeeded at doing that. So it's going to be interesting. And we're going to start the game with Aladdin, who's got quite a bit to do. He still needs to go to the city of Zaya and the city of Herat. He's in the city of Herat, but he had he was being pursued by a wizard who caught up with him, or actually, sorry, a merchant who caught up with him and caused him some serious problems last turn. And he's now crippled as a result because he was taken out and his throat was slit. He was tortured. He's got to go back to his wife and deal with that. So he was on his way seeking some lost relatives, and he failed to get there. I don't know if he's going to keep doing that or go home at this point, or stay and try. He might stay in Herat and try and complete that, because that could give him enough maybe to win. I'm not sure. He could going after his quest certainly will not if Sinbad makes it back to Baghdad quickly. So we'll see. We'll see what he's going to do. But we're going to start with him. And here is Aladdin. Here he's on the city of Herat. Now, I'm debating, the question is, he's got two. He's got this one here that he can't go after in Zarandia, but he can go after this quest here. It's close enough. Even crippled with -1 movement, he is currently respectable in wealth and can move 4, -1, so 3. He can get three to locations. You could get home, talk to his wife, and be able to go back to his city, because once you have visited a city, you can't go back. So I think actually he can't go to Herat because he's in the city. He had that encounter. So I think what he'll do is he's going to, at least this turn, continue on to his quest marker and see what happens. So he's going to go 1, 2 to there. Now, someone also asked me, being crippled or etc., can he move? Does that affect his movement by sea? The answer is yes. It affects all their movement, just in general, because I guess they're slower getting around in their crippled state. So he has moved there. That is a location that is a 5. It's also one of his quest markers. He will pick that up in a moment. I'm looking to see what else he's got here that might impact him. He's got his married and his crippled status, but that's really about it, and his sparkling spear, which hasn't really helped him yet. But anyway, he's got this, and it says every time you have a successful encounter in a space with a marker, remove it. When you remove the third marker, you find your cousin. You find the cousin. Your mother rejoices, and you complete the quest. But he's not going to get to do that, and his sparkling spear really doesn't do anything until he gets some effect. It says if you encounter an Ifrit, and he hasn't really done that. So let's see what happens here. So the first thing that's going to happen is he is in a space. We're going to get the encounter deck out and draw it. Draw a card for him, rather. So here's the encounter deck. Let's see what he gets. Oh, I didn't cut it. That's okay. He's got the city encounter of Gaia. That's okay, because we're not going to deal with that right now. But he's going to probably keep it. Right now, we're going to look at entry 29, and see what that does. Okay, here's 29. We're going to roll a die. We're going to add 5 to it, because the location he's on is a 5 encounter space. 6, wow, 11. So, noble, okay, that's so funny. I was just talking about the sparkling spear, and he encounters a noble Ifrit. That is going to be encounter table M. So we're going to take a look at the encounter matrix and see what he chooses when he encounters this Ifrit. So counter level M. Grovel, aid, avoid, bargain, attack, or trick. Now remember his skill set, he's got massive luck, acting in disguise, enduring hardship, and stealth and stealing. So he's probably going to do something, try to be clever with this guy. But let's see what his Sparkling Spear says. The Sparkling Spear is feared by Jinn, not Ifrits, I think, as it has the power to destroy them despite their great magic. In any encounter with an Ifrit, or Ifrita, you may ignore the result at the cost of 1 destiny point. Well, I don't think he's going to bother ignoring it. He wants to encounter this guy. So, again, Noble Ifrit, he's going to grovel, aid, avoid, bargain, attack, or trick. I think he's going to try and trick the Noble Ifrit. So, we're going to look at Encounter Matrix M. We do know that this creature is, if you can see on the matrix here, is noble. And we're going to trick, which is the very last entry. 1439 in the Book of Tales. Let's go to there. Okay, we're on 1439, but we do have to roll our die of destiny and see what we get. We get a nothing, so it's going to be 1439. Well, I don't think he doesn't have courtly graces, so it's going to be no skill. You prepare a little entertainment with some accomplices, and your scheme is successful. However, in spite of his great power, your victim professes to be unable to help you, so that he doesn't help you. No skill. Sadly, you let him go on his way. 1 destiny point. Well, that's okay. I think you can't see the destiny track, but let's go to that. That simply puts him up to a 7. However, he had a successful encounter, so he gets to remove the marker for his quest. I'm going to put this back on his board. He has removed 1 of the 3 markers he needs to complete his quest. And he is on this space here. So he did get a destiny point. That's awesome, but it didn't help him. Oh, you know what? He should have gotten 2. I made a mistake on that, but I'm not going to change it. It's okay. This is one of the types of games you don't really have to do that. But he would have got a +2 on the encounter roll. I got to remember that because on the destiny track, once they go over 5, they get a bonus of +2 on encounter rolls, meaning they get better, more interesting encounters. However, that worked out okay for him. And he's going to keep the Gaia card. There's no reason for him not to. He's got 3 city cards stocked up right now. And that's going to be the end of that. Okay, now we've got, let's see, we are going to go to Alibaba, who is married, beloved, and wounded, and he's trying to complete his Contest of Champions, which he's going to fail at. Now, he went back and visited his wife the last time, and that went well for him. I think what he's going to do this time, I'm not sure. He doesn't want to encounter, definitely does not want to encounter Aladdin, because Aladdin has as many skills as he does. Well, let me see. Alibaba has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skills. Well, no. Aladdin only has 4 skills. So what I'm talking about with Alibaba, who's right here, by the way, is this. It says, however, if you share a city space other than Baghdad with another player, and you... Oh, well, here's what we want to look at. If you are in a city space outside of Baghdad with another player and have at least 2 more skills than that player, you win the contest. So we don't want to go to another player. We only have 1 more skill than Aladdin. So what do we want to do? Well, we can go to we can just travel. He doesn't have any more city cards left. He could start heading away. He doesn't really want to encounter Aladdin at this point. So I think what he's going to do is he's just going to move. He's crippled. No, he's not crippled. He's just wounded. He doesn't have a movement penalty, but he cannot use his magic skill. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go... Now, he is also respectable wealth, so he's got a movement of 4. I think he'll go 1, 2, 3 out to the ocean space, and 5 to here, to this ocean space. He's going to have an ocean encounter way down south. So you can see he's right there. He's going to have that ocean encounter. We're going to draw an encounter card for him and see what happens. It's on a 5 space. Let's see. Prince. He encounters a prince. Now this symbol here is governed by the time of day. Well, we haven't been through the card deck yet, so it's still morning. So he encounters this prince in the morning. That is going to be location or encounter matrix 87. So while on the ocean, he encounters a prince. So 87 is matrix A. It's right here. Now he rolls a die, and he's going to add 5 to it. That's going to give him a 5 minimum. Plus he does get +1 because of his position on the destiny track. So right now he rolled a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he ran into a vengeful prince. Vengeful Prince on a Matrix M. Let's take a look at that. So Matrix M is similar to the no, I'm sorry, Matrix A rather. Sorry. Yeah, so he can grovel, aid, rob, avoid, converse, attack, court, abduct, and honor. Well, based on our skills of enduring hardship, scholarship, bargaining, and beguiling, I think he's going to Matrix A. He's going to converse. He'll converse with this vengeful prince. So that we're going to look up Matrix A here now and see what that means. So let's look up vengeful. Vengeful's way down here, and he's going to converse, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, he is going to be at 265 in the Great Book of Tales. Okay, 265. We're going to roll a dice of destiny. We get a -1, so it's going to be 264. The other is crazed and obviously obsessed with you. You find the other pitiful in ways and repulsive in others. The other has tried a disguise to trick you, thinking the other might have evil intentions. You try to avoid him. You are unable to avoid the other, and he traps you in a conversation. We have bargaining and evaluation, so we're going to get to actually use our skill. Although you would prefer to avoid contact with this bitter person, you never let anything stand in the way of business. You consider yourself fortunate to avoid his wrath, and depart as soon as you've concluded your dealings. So we get... So we're going to get a destiny point. That puts Alibaba at 5, not enough to win the game yet. He is also going to get a wealth level to a maximum of rich, which means that he is now up there with Sinbad, and they're rich guys with lots of money on their travels. And then the last thing he gets is going to be the skill of, which hasn't helped anybody yet, but he's got it. Now he has enough skills, actually, that if he did decide to go try and encounter one of the players, he would have enough to complete his quest. It would be a bad thing. And I'm just going to double check to make sure that is the last thing that happens. It is. He got all that. So that was a pretty good round for him. Unfortunately, it doesn't get him closer to winning. Now we're going to go to Sinbad, and Sinbad's going to make haste back home. He is crippled, so he's going to lose 1 movement, but he is also rich. Gives him a movement of 3. Unfortunately, he has to go this way, so he's going to go 1, 2, and I think he'll go to the city of Zalia. 2. So he's going to go there. It's an encounter of 2. That way he can cross the ocean and head to Baghdad. It'll be a little faster for him. So let's get out the encounter deck. I'm going to cut it this time like I was supposed to, I guess, and then draw an encounter card. Ooh, a volcano. It is in a city, though, as you can see, too. So we're going to be drawing 24. We've had a volcano before, but we're going to look on Matrix 24. Let's see what that does. Okay, well, again, Sinbad gets +2 on his roll. He's on a space of 2, so let's see, he's on this table right here. So he rolls a 2, it's going to be a 4, plus the space he's on is a 2, so a 6, con game I. This isn't really good for him, but we're going to go to Matrix I and see what that does. So Matrix I, honor, attack, avoid, aid, rob, follow, question, pray. What are his skills? Let's see, he's got weapon use, seamanship. He did inherit stealth and stealing, so I think what he's going to do is follow. He's going to follow the con game. Follow on Matrix. What is it? Sorry. Matrix I. Matrix I, we're going to follow. Okay, so let's look that up in the other chart, the Matrix chart on I. See what we get. So we are going to, we got con, and we're going to follow the con. 1999, Prince's favorite number. Let's go to 1999. Okay, now we have to roll our dice of destiny, a -1, so it's going to be 1998. Let's see, you are drawn in by a street game offered by a quick-tongued and quick-fingered young man. He offers to double any bet if the watcher can guess which cup hides the pebble. His motions are swift and confusing, and his amusing patter serves to distract. You carefully study his movements for an hour. Confident you know his patterns, you approach. We have no skill because we don't have acting in disguise. It says you guess wrong and then compound the error by attempting to recoup your losses. We're going to get 1 story point, and we're going to get a -1 wealth. Well, that's okay. It's not really hurting him that bad. It does give him another story point, so he's going to get to choose. He already chose his talent. That's how he ended up with that skill. And he does lose a wealth level, so he's gone from rich to respectable. We'll correct that, and that is going to mark the end of his turn. We're going to discard this card, and he had that encounter on his way back to Baghdad. And that is going to end our episode for this turn. It was a pretty eventful turn, considering that basically we're racing against the clock. The other players are racing against the clock because Sinbad is on his way back to Baghdad to claim victory over his compadres. So they got to hustle it up and get back there too with enough points to win, or they're not going to win. And the only one that could really pull that off, well, actually they all can, but Aladdin is closest because he's not far from Baghdad, and he's only missing, well, now he has enough points to do it. I said 6. So he's got 6 story points and 7 destiny points. He's going to be rushing to Baghdad too to see if he can complete the adventure and win before Sinbad can get there. Sinbad's crippled, so he's slowed down. Aladdin's crippled too, so he's slowed down too, and that's not good for us. And he can't go into a city space except for Baghdad and without going home to meet his wife again. So he's really going to have to hustle it up. But anyway, that's the end of the session. So thanks, guys. Appreciate you watching. Appreciate your subscriptions. And thanks so much. I will talk to you soon. Keep the subscriptions coming. Let everybody know, because I said when I get to 4,000 subscriptions, I'm very close, subscribers, I will give away a couple of games, new games in Shrink, and that'll be fun. So we're going to definitely have that happen soon. I'm getting really close. So thanks again, guys. Appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying watching other people's stuff too. I didn't plug anybody this game session or the last few, but I will soon once I think about who I want to plug some more. There's so many great guys out there doing this now. There's just a lot. One Stop Co-op Shop, I'll do that. Kind of new to the Tube Tables group there, and he's doing some really good stuff. I think right now he's doing that race from 10,000 BC or something like that. Anyway, I saw his setup of that. I can't wait to see the video of it. So check him out, One Stop Co-op Shop. Thanks. Talk to you soon.